right here on FT. That's why we do this show every day.
Or if
every
you watched
second,
3 weeks
basically.
ago.
Oh, so we knew this for a while. Should we post the clip again?
I'm just saying.
I know. So Andrew Baggerly of The Athletic saying they're poised to announce Bob Melvin joining the San Francisco Giants. And apparently it was a very quick process that went down.
Or was there some back dealing that we didn't know about?
Could be. Also, do we know if there's going to be a trade or anything? Compensation for this?
I mean, not according to this. They didn't really care, the Padres.
They said, he also said in a condensed interview process over the past 48 hours, nothing Bob Melvin said dissuaded the Giants. He is their choice. And then here's Dan. Can you do this one for me?
Szymborski.
Okay, thank you. That was good. He said, I'm amused that the Padres basically said, we stand 100% behind Bob Melvin and have complete faith in him. But if one of our division rivals should happen to hire him away from us, we have no particular objection to that.
What's going to be interesting is, besides the fact Bob Melvin is now with the Giants, who's going to be the Padres manager? Because there is a lot of talent in San Diego, and there's going to be some changes this year because, much like I had already heard that Melvin was probably not going to be the manager of them anymore, is going to be the Giants manager. There's also some rumors that there's going to be some cost cutting, and they got to clear some money. So I don't know who's going to be the manager and who's going to be there. Hader's probably gone. Soto.
Snell's gone.
They still have Darvish and Musgrove and some other guys, but they went for it the last few years, and Preller likes to not miss every year trying to go for it.
Preller's going to lose a little power right now.
You think? Is he? He just got rid of his manager who they didn't get along.
Spending power.
Maybe.
He can't just go do what he wants right now. I think the Padres are like, hey, dude, we've been doing this for a while. We haven't had a ton of returns out of it. They've had financial returns out of it, and I think they've made it really exciting, so I give them credit, but the wins aren't there. So in terms of picking up those jobs, I mean, I'll give you candidates. First off, Joe Madden's going to join us in the second hour of Foul Territory. We'll ask him about
Eric Kratz
his interest.
Name. And thrown into the rumor mill.
You keep throwing Kratz in. Like, Kratz,
I get it. You can tell when you're wanted somewhere.
Fam. What?
I can tell when I'm wanted somewhere.
Yeah. I'll give you.
It has nothing to do with not being wanted here. It has to do with the fact that you might be a good candidate.
AJ just wants to host the show by himself. So some days we're going to just give him 2 hours and say go, and you can't stop talking.
I'd watch it.
It depends on who my guests are and who I get to talk to. And
well, if you don't want anybody working with you, then we're taking.
I didn't say anybody. I didn't. First of all, I like working with Kratz. I like Kratz being around.
Why do you keep trying to pimp him out as manager?
Because he wants to be a manager. Listen, there's no secret that Eric Kratz would like to be a big league manager.
Not yet.
I'm trying to help a guy out.
Not yet.
I mean, notice I said I like working with Kratz and not somebody.
It's a secret to me.
Kratz, did you hear the story? By the way, I know this is way off but I don't care. I'm telling the story anyways. So last night, Scott was at my house, wouldn't leave. I couldn't kick him out. Even had to call the cops at one point. Still couldn't throw him out because he's a squatter now. But I said to this lady, the doorbell rings, and it was a guy with a pizza pie. It was a lady with a pizza. And she rings the doorbell and goes, I have a pizza. And I'm like, well, I didn't order a pizza. And she goes, for Scott? And I'm like, there's no Scott here. And I close the door, and I walk out, and I'm like, oh, fuck. There is a Scott here. He's above my – he's in the TV room. So I had to run back out the door and grab her and hey, no, just kidding. Scott's here. Can I have the pizza? And then I had to get the pizza and brought it to him like a delivery boy.
And she was like, I don't want to meet this guy because there's no cheese on this pizza and there's no gluten.
And they made it wrong. So they had to reorder it.
Anyway, back on track. So, yeah, she did get a good tip. I'm a good tipper. So, Mike Schultz and Ryan Flaherty are candidates for the Padres.
Which one?
But then on the veteran side, which one's going to get it?
Well, he said yes to one of them.
Flaherty. Yeah, I think Flaherty over Schultz.
I've heard people in the organization would like Schultz
over
Flaherty because Flaherty and Manny are too tight.
Good.
And then Buck Showalter's name's been rumored for the Angels.
Wait, hold on. Good what? Hold on. We'll get to that. Wait, what?
Good.
Good.
They need
good.
They need to push. They need to get behind some horse there. Somebody. If Manny's the problem, then they need to figure out how to make Manny not the problem, and that might be let his buddy be the manager, and you'll see Manny in the office playing cribbage with him every week, or you get somebody in there that Manny hates. I mean, what if, like, to me, that's the two options. You can't have somebody that's going to butt up against Manny as the guy who's going to be there for the next 10 years, whether he's the leader or he's not the leader is not, for me to guess. But if you bring Schilt in, he's had a history of treating people poorly, and if he's not a Manny guy, Schilt's going to be gone, just like the rest of these managers are going to be gone. So you might as well go the other way and let somebody come in that's Manny's buddy, and maybe you get the most out of Manny.
Buck Showalter is really tight with Manny, and I think managed him pretty well in Baltimore. But he's also a candidate for the Angels job, which my advice to Buck, unless Artie Moreno is giving you partial ownership of the team, that is going to be an epic clash. Oh. Buck likes to have a say in many different parts of the org, and he's going to go into that org and be like, this is a fucking train wreck. I've never seen anything like this. He will have so much appreciation for any other organization he's ever been around. Guaranteed. So, I would grab my popcorn for that situation, but...
Here's a name for you that Mark, or one of our people that works on the show, named for San Diego. Ozzie Guillen. Let's go. I'm here for it.
Text him. Ask him, hey, Padres offer you a job right now. Do you take it? Ask him.
He'll say no, but he wants it so bad. He's like Kratz.
He'll say no?
He's like Kratz. He's like a closet, I don't want it, but deep down he really wants it.
Ask him. Anyway, let's do Bob Melvin to the Giants again for a sec, circling back on the manager carousel. Is this good? Giants fans are really pissed, at least, I'm crowdsourcing on social media. They seem quite pissed off about how the team has been run now. They're pissed, like, why can't we sign franchise players? Why can't we operate more towards the top of the market? Why even this year, when our team was okay and it was a wild card contender for most of the year, was it so unexciting? The brand of baseball, the lack of any type of excitement at the trade deadline. They did literally nothing. I think most of them are pretty pissed at the front office at this point. So does Bob Melvin help to fix this? I think he's a great manager. I think the Padres just had a tough year. But Kratz, where do you read the Giants at this point?
They were so boring in the sense of, here comes the matchup, and this is the matchup, and then you don't even have, they didn't have, who was their best player on their team? Who was the guy that, led that team and was, the star that you can get behind? It's a team that's just kind of mishmash together. But as fans, I wouldn't be so pissed at the front office because they made runs at guys. If the judge option is a thing, they made a good run. They had a contract agreed upon with Correa. That was gone. Whether you think they did it on purpose or they didn't, I don't know why a team would do that. But they lack the superstar. And so, to me, I felt like Gabe was the one who was like, well, I'll be the superstar. I'll be the face of this team. And it kind of made the team just like what he did with the Phillies. I think the Phillies had built a good team around him, but he just ran it into the ground. He was just like, go run as hard as you can for 5 months. Sorry, the season's 6 months, but we're just going to do this way. So I think, I don't know, the fans love their team out there. And I think the front office they've tried their best to get guys in. And for whatever reason, for each free agent, it's different. They didn't want to go there.
Listen, Giants need a star. And Kratz just summed it up. The Giants need a star. They need a star. Whether a pitching star, Logan Webb has been good, but he's not a star. Outside of San Francisco, no one really knows Logan Webb that well. He's been good. They need a star pitcher, and they need a star bat. When the Giants are revving it, they had Buster Posey, they had Bumgarner, they had Lincecum, they had Kane, they had Crawford, they had Belt, they had Sandoval. Right? These guys were stars.
What's Carlos Correa? In the playoffs, he's a star. I'm saying they had a chance at him.
I understand.
They said no.
But
that was
then there's something they need to look at the organization and be like, why in the heck does people not want to come here?
I totally agree with that.
Right?
But
There's
Correa
something about-
was going to go there.
Okay.
They blew that one
Listen,
separately.
I mean, okay. Carlos Correa, great player. But with the amount of money they would have signed him for if he has the year he has in San Francisco,
it would have been a bust.
people would have been calling for his head.
Also,
already.
he's had it's one season.
I understand, but I'm saying, but if he would have signed for $350 or whatever he was going to sign for, compared to what he signed for in Minnesota, it's a much tougher division. They're not getting into the playoffs like the Twins did. They're going to grind through it, and he's going to be hurt, and they're going to be like, "Oh, here we go." So
he made
nothing against Carlos. He might have, but who's the star they're going to sign? Who's the star they're going to trade for? That's the question the Giants fans have to be asking.
They're going to need to significantly overpay, which some other teams have to do, right? Like
teams
Toronto
have to do
always has to do it.
Blue Jays, yep.
Ken even talked about this on Fair Territory, the last one. He said there are many players that don't want to sign there right now for a variety of reasons. And that's okay. But you have to recognize that and say, how do we fix this? Throw fucking more money at them. Because guess what? If a player's not a huge fan of the city, if you offer him an extra $30 million, he'll suddenly be a fan of the city.
They also need to develop. They develop Posey, they develop Belt, they develop Sandoval, they develop Crawford,
Bailey.
They develop Eric Lincecum, they develop Kane. Those were developed guys. Bumgarner. They need to develop better.
Yeah, Bailey, Luciano. There's some guys that you're just starting to see.
Listen, Bailey had a great start. He crashed at the end.
He's a great defender.
Yes.
But, all right, we'll be right back.